Other prospects. All right, billionaire Donald Trump in the lead once again in the latest presidential polls. According to the new Reuters Ipsos poll, Trump takes a commanding lead among Republican voters with 25% support. His closest competition is former Florida Governor Jeb Bush with just 12%. What is being Trump's surge? What's behind the surge in the polls? I asked former Texas Governor and 2016 hopeful Rick Perry earlier. Why do you think he's at the top of the polls right now?
Well, I think the whole celebrity issue is interesting. It's quite early in this process. You think back to 2007, and for an entire year, Rudy Giuliani was, America's mayor.
That's true.
And he was at the top of the polls. So, we'll see. Debates coming up on the 6th of August. Outrageous things may still stick. I don't know. But I think Americans want solutions.
We've got some solutions this morning, and America's mayor with us right now, Mayor Giuliani. So what do you think, Mayor? Good morning.
Well, first of all, Rick was one of my biggest supporters. He campaigned with me for 4 straight months. And in fact, we were ahead, I think, for 6 or 7 months at about 32%. So it is very ephemeral, and it can change very, very, very quickly. But right now, Donald Trump, I think here's where Rick is making a mistake. Donald Trump is not ahead just because of celebrity. Mm-hmm. He's ahead because he's raising basic issues in a way people can understand and relate to, whereas the other candidates aren't doing that as effectively. Immigration in particular.
But does he
may have started off wrong, but he kind of straightened it out. And then, of course, we had those terrible tragedies that occurred. He's right. Our borders are open. Our borders are insecure. If people can come across legitimate people, and a lot of legitimate people come across for good reasons, then people can come across for bad reasons. They can come across to sell drugs. They can come across to murder. They can come across to rape. And they can come across to do terrorist acts. He is hitting something that is real. It's not made up. It's real. And they are not really responding in as substantive a way as Donald is. So until they do, Donald is going to continue to hold that lead.
The debate is going to be real important because the debate will actually give us an opportunity to hear solutions. I mean, yes, he's bringing up some very important points, but is he also bringing up solutions?
He is not as detailed as I would like, but yes, he's bringing up solutions. He's talking about more border patrol, absolutely necessary. I think 10,000, by the way. He's talking about using technology on the border, absolutely necessary. And number 3, he's not talking about my favorite plan, which is about 40 or 50 border patrol. I would call them police precincts, like I had in New York, so that no border patrol station would be any further than 20 miles from any point on the border, so we could stop people from coming in. Until an American president does that, and President Bush didn't do it, and President Obama didn't do this, we will not have a solution to the problem. We simply have to stop people from coming in illegally. Yeah. We have to stop it, stop it.
Well, he's clearly making that. He's championing that message right now, right? He's reaching American voters. They like what they're hearing. He's surging in the polls. How would you say his surge in the polls at this point in the presidential run cycle is different than when you were surging in the polls in the presidential cycle?
First of all, I was never surging the way he was. I've never had 2-1. So he's actually.
But you were in the lead.
But I was in the lead. But there was always a close competitor, 3, 4, 5 points behind.
Because I keep hearing everyone make that comparison.
Second, I think it was because of their agreement with me on foreign policy, their agreement with me on economic policy. Once my opponents did a really good job pointing out I was pro-choice and pro-gay rights. Yeah. Boom. It fell.
Wow.
Really.
And did you feel like you lost a lot of Republican support because of those?
Oh, yeah, sure. I could see it. I mean, I could see the commercials in South Carolina, elsewhere. Pro-choice, pro-gay rights, pro-immigrant rights. Mm-hmm. I may be in favor of a very, very tight border, but I am in favor of giving people who are good people a chance of becoming citizens in the U.S. And I happen to have been one of the people that participated in Ronald Reagan's original law that gave amnesty to people.
So, now, Mayor, if you were a 2016 candidate, he's surging in the race, you're sitting now with your campaign strategist, what do you do? Do you engage him?
No, let him stay.
Look, what do you do? What's the game plan?
There's great danger in being the front runner, right? Look at what's happened to Hillary. I mean, they're kicking heck out of her. Mm-hmm. They're all going to kick the heck out of Donald. And I don't know if you want to be the front runner. This is like the Belmont Stakes, not the Kentucky Derby. It's a long, long race, and who's ahead at the finish line is the key. So Donald's going to have to withstand a lot of shots at him.
So you wouldn't engage him. You're a presidential candidate right now.
The next debate. Here's what I would do. I would take advantage of the fact he's going to have a gigantic audience. I would say thank you, Donald.
Yeah.
You just got me 2 million more
Yeah,
people
you're
watching
right.
this darn thing. I bet it beats network television.
It's going to be huge ratings on Fox.
So now, if I can perform well, and all I want to do in this debate is have people come away with the idea, this man is intelligent, he can be president, I like him, and he's somebody I'll consider. You're not going to, you don't win a vote now. Right now, you get somebody that considers you for president. They're going to go through 3 or 4 cycles of that. And if you're Donald, I think what you want to do if you're Donald is convince people that you're broader than just immigration. And he is. I mean, he has
Pro-business.
Pro-business.
Yeah.
Talk about what is needed to deal with competition with China. Talk about how that's going to bring jobs to the United States. Get beyond immigration, and then let's start talking foreign policy. Most important thing to me is which president has the courage to stand up to Iran.
Which candidate has that courage? Which candidate has that
well,
courage?
I know Bush does. I know Rubio does. I know Trump does.
Perry just told us earlier in the program that he
I know,
first thing in office is reverse this Iranian deal.
I mean, I spent a month and a half with Rick. I know who Rick does. These are people that will look the Ayatollah in the eye and say, you cheat. The military option is not only on the table, but don't test me.
Yeah. Let me ask you real quick on Hillary, because Monica Crowley out with a column this morning in the Washington Times saying she doesn't think Hillary's going to be the candidate. She thinks it's Joe Biden.
Well, you know, Donald has also been out front saying words like Hillary committed crimes. He's not so far off.
Right.
Gosh, I did that for more of my life than anything else. I can come up with 5 statutes that I'd investigate her for. In fact, I do not know why the Justice Department is not investigating her. I think somebody should investigate the Justice Department for not investigating Hillary Clinton.
Sandra and I were on with Mike McKasey. He felt during the break.
My best friend.
Right. But am I wrong about this, Sandra?
Yeah.
He felt that she would likely get indicted, and then the president would endorse Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You remember
Okay,
this conversation?
so that's coming from former Attorney General.
So that's a.
Well, you haven't heard the president endorse Hillary Clinton. He stopped short of it the other day at that, and he had a perfect opportunity to do so. So Monica Crowley is one of, I've heard now several strategists who have said that he's going to make way for Joe Biden to enter the race.
Let me give you one. I completely agree with Judge Mukasey, judge for 18 years, Attorney General, and my law partner, and one of the most brilliant lawyers I've ever worked with. But here's one clear conflict of interest statute. She's the Secretary of State. Husband's getting all kinds of money from companies and governments that she's making decisions about.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And I think they file a joint return.
Yeah.
That is a straight out, right on its face, violation of the conflict of interest statutes, unless some of those facts are wrong. Now, I haven't seen those facts as a prosecutor would see them in front of a jury. I can't say she should be indicted. I can say for sure it's a disgrace that the Justice Department is not investigating her. An absolute disgrace. They have put people in jail for far less than that.
We're going to talk more about this.
General Petraeus, Bernie Kerik.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking Bernie Kerik. We're talking $120,000.
Oh my God.
We're talking 120. Here we're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Unbelievable.
Oh, by the way, take a good look at that charity. If that's not a slush fund, I will turn in my credentials as an ex-prosecutor.
We're going to talk